Hi everyone, I'm here with Gustavo Tanaka. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And we are in Toronto currently. Gustavo is a long way from home, from Sao Paulo, Brazil. And he is here for the seed movement. And we want to talk to everyone about that. So I would like to just ask you if you have any questions at this time during our healing and our meditation.
Actually, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah. Let's pick one first.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
What's in your heart?
so, do you have any advice for people on how to release control and to be totally in the flow and just in this space of surrender
Yes,
and bliss and joy and love?
I really do. I have a quote that keeps it very simple and very concise in effortlessness and in ease. And it's really just very simple. It is drop the thought and make. And what that means is we can really release all the ways in which we exhaust ourselves, really, with overthinking, overanalyzing, making things complex, trying to think our way out of things. This is during my near-death experience, this came across very deeply, that we basically just need to be. And when we use the word make, that comes from the space of digging deep into our intimate connection with ourself and creating what we want to see around us in every way, in every breath, in every action, in every word, in every way we love. And when we can do this, we can love so deep, it's like the ocean. So I really feel strongly that every soul on the planet has divinity within them. I understood when I crossed over the veil, or the other side, or heaven, however you want to say it or think of it, is perfect, by the way. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It just is. I got to deeply understand that it is exactly what we need to come to a place of surrender, of dropping the thought to make and create our destiny, our future, our wildest dreams come true, our limitlessness. And that's what the film shows, the book shows. We're open for anything that comes before, after, during. I think that really Lincoln, my little boy, says the sky is not the limit, which is kind of a funny saying. And he's right. It's very limitless. And we have placed ourselves as humanity inside of boxes that we need to open now and we need to step out of. And we need to dream again. We need to imagine and create how our healing looks, how our days are going to look, who we want around us, who we want to be inspired by, and more than anything, to fall madly and deeply in love with ourselves first, with our connection across the veil, whatever that looks like. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It really doesn't, as long as we get to that destination of peace and love and forgiveness. And the most important achievement is unconditional love. So unconditionally loving ourselves, being patient, being kind, being forgiving, having understanding, compassion, empathy. I think that all of these things bring us to that beautiful destination of seeing through the illusion, of getting out of our box, and of creating something that is just even too hard for us to even imagine because it's so spectacular.
You know, one thing that you told me that was really amazing to listen to that is the idea that I have from heaven, you know. So like, I've always been trying to figure out how heaven looks like and what is it like, and trying to find like one unique specific way, like what is the image. And then you told me something that made really a lot of sense to me. Like you can create, right? Can you tell me a little bit about more about this, and
yes,
maybe
absolutely,
give this hint to other people as well?
so our imagination is real. Basically, you're going to just give yourself almost like a card, like a pass. Like, I'm going to believe my imagination. I'm going to dream, which turns to master manifesting what we see around us. I'm going to give myself permission to do things that I've never done. I've never thought this way. I've never looked at things in this many angles or this deeply. I've never imagined such bliss and eternal love, and how nothing is a coincidence. So when I crossed the veil, I could see really beautifully that everything is perfect, literally. Whatever we create when we're on the other side is perfect for us. It puts us in the most blissful place we can be in for our heavenly healing, I guess we can call it. And as comfortable as our soul can get is what we surround ourselves with. So for me, I had, oh my gosh, color that I can't even describe. I had celestial beings, angelic form, archangels. And then I was just so excited to see them, like they were my very, very best friends, which of course, you know, we can achieve this deep connection. And all of us have these angelic beings and these celestial beings and this divine light that is infused in our souls. And I can see that in everyone I meet. You know, since this revelation, I can look at a person and see just the most magnificent glimmers and shine and sparks and ways that they dance in divine choreography along with the universe. They might not even be aware of it. But it's there in every person, in every child, in every elderly person. It doesn't matter what your belief systems are, what your culture is. We are all uniquely one. So what we can start doing on the earth plane is creating heaven, basically. Creating this state of bliss that has no fear. And that's how I start my days. Before my eyes even open, I go right into the heart center. I don't even go in my mind anymore. I go right into the heart center. I don't do my lists. I don't do my day. I don't do my distractions. I go right into the heart center and I ask myself deeply from the heart, how do I feel? It's really simple. And it's something that we rarely ask ourselves, you know, before this understanding. And if I have any anxiety or any fear, I simply ask for it to be transformed. And I invite in the divine energies, whatever it looks like, whatever it is for you. For me, it's everything. I don't have belief systems. I have what I create, what I imagine. And it's so real when I'm imagining it. And when the healing is taking place, the transformation is taking place, everything that I imagine is happening within my soul. And if you need to have this proof that we feel on this 3D earth plane, you can ask. That's so simple. You just have to invite it in and say, show me. And it comes in beautiful miracles and synchronicities. It comes in colors and animals and numbers and symbols and meetings of the soul and souls that have been together before that are coming back together again to do lots of sharing on the earth plane, sharing what we understand, sharing what we see, sharing how to lighten the density of one's soul so that we can experience heaven on earth. And I think that is why Gustavo and I are together and why we are here on the earth plane. One of the reasons we have missions. Every soul has something on the other side that can be considered a mission. And I think that's why we call it the seed movement, because it's a seed planted in all of us. And this beautiful way of growth and, error and trip and stumble and fall and get back up and brush ourselves off and be there for each other, and forgiveness, and just understanding that everything is perfect, whatever it looks like. When you perceive it in a certain way, it's just perfect.
And so how can people find out what their mission is?
I feel that we have layers of learned and conditioned ways of being, and we need to lift those layers. We really need to deeply understand how simple this invitation, creating the space, the sacred space for ourselves, where we just simply invite in the divine light. And then we lift off the layers, and they're just small reminders. They're things we already know in our hearts and in our souls. It's just reminders. So we're sharing the seed movement. Right now it's me and a little bit Lincoln, but eventually all of us that are part of this team are going to be sharing in their own unique ways, because there's no right way or the wrong way. There's just beautiful sharing of how we each get to the destination. I think that's the key. And we have our audios for this on Patreon. You can find them at the Seed Movement. And we have a website where you can go and read about the book and the film. There's a feature film coming that we can all see very beautifully, with souls that have been here with us many times before, that are starting to enter the space now and have awareness of what the seed movement is and how it will affect the world and how it will lift the hearts collectively, so that we can collectively create a beautiful reality around us and get rid of the two things really that hold us back as humanity. I feel the fear is the first thing. And the next thing is the ego, because I think that we are in a space where we're so learned and conditioned that we really need to move ourselves out of the way at this time and bring in the light. And I don't know why anyone would not want to transform themselves in these ways and deeply feel more of a connection in every which way, and connect to each other. This is key. And then connect to across the veil, whatever that looks like for you. So I think that while we continue working in effortlessness space, without planning and without thinking our way through, but instead allowing everything to be and to flow in this beautiful divine choreography to whatever it looks like, we really don't want to put any limits on it. So we unfold it, and you can watch that on the website as well, theseedmovement.com. And we're about to begin a documentary so that we can deeper share on a deeper level and continue our journey on how we unfold the seed movement to the world. So join us, and you get to choose. And thank you for joining us today. The day that I awoke from my sleep and knew deeply in my heart that Gustavo would stand beside me was a very beautiful day of relief and of joy and of tranquility. I was shown immediately, as always, by the nudges and the guiding towards someone who now has flown across the world to stand beside me and to take the seat on as his own. Immediately upon healing and getting to know Gustavo in ways that are very different from what we know, In fact, we hardly ever spoke about what we do or the regular questions asked when you meet someone new, for instead we dove right into the soul and to the healing and to the understanding. And here's how it felt for Gustavo when he arrived here in Canada.
For me, it's just about faith. It's a lesson on faith and an opportunity to take faith to the next level. It's about truly being honest what's inside of you, without questioning, without creating barriers or doubts, but just releasing control and be open to what's about to come. And normally I can feel that, not in my mind, not thinking, but just here inside my heart. And the challenge is to keep believing, like to believe more and more, and to believe each time more. Because there are layers and layers, and I think my faith just got stronger when I got here, when I got to know your message, when you got to look at each other's eyes and hug each other, just feeling that it is true, And while being here in Canada, in Toronto, I for many times felt the perfection of life, of being here, being in the exact place and exact moment where I should be, that I shouldn't be anywhere else. I shouldn't be with anyone else. I was just supposed to be here, and I'm really glad that I am. And it feels great, feels like you completing the puzzle, like putting the pieces together and put everything in its right place. And I think the universe celebrates that, God celebrates that, the Archangel celebrates that when we are in alignment with who we are, when we're in alignment with this place we should occupy in time and space. And the message that I carry here, and I want to help to spread out, is that if you can really be loyal to what we're feeling inside, if you can really act according to what we deeply feel, then nothing can go wrong, It's all perfect, and you can really feel perfection. It's not think of perfection and try to match perfection in a rational way, but just feel and experience perfection. Experience that everything is so perfect and nothing can go wrong. And I think this is bliss for me. Just allowing myself to be who I am, just trusting and realizing that the world is loving, and people all around you can provide you many lessons without the necessity of creating barriers and protecting myself from others. So it gives me a way of just feeling relaxed and relaxing myself on my own, knowing that I'm not on my own.